Mark, I lied. I actually did have a video of him last night with a full pitch. So now I can break it down with some more mechanics here to show you. Okay, the line there indicates how much momentum he gets off the start. See how he hooks the rubber here with the foot on top. Not a good idea to start like that because it causes the knee to turn in too soon. And what we know is that when you keep the knee twisting the other direction, which is a really tough concept, not something I would teach him at this age. Now, that's not even something I would work with Chase on yet, but that actually improves a lot of good leg power when it's torqued the other way. But anyway, at any rate, as he goes down, he does get some he does get a little bit of momentum here. I mean, for a kid his age, it's not too bad. But here's the issue. See how quickly he breaks his hands? He really hasn't really moved forward. So that's going to cause the arm to get up very early. So take a look here how early the arm gets up. And when the arm gets up that early, it does cause early rotation and early shoulder rotation. And that definitely does decrease a lot of velocity. So as time goes on, we'll try to get that arm and lower body timed a little bit better so that he can get the body out more and the arm down lower so that he doesn't give the arm that much time to get up. So the quicker we move the lower body and the later we break the hands, or at least the lower we break the hands, we don't have to break them later, but we should break them a little lower so that we can get the arm up in sync with the body better as it gets out. See, he's already up in high cock position here before he's even landed. Okay, so that's something that is crucial as he gets a little older. But anyhow, as we go out here into load, what you want to see here is a nice knee flex. We want to see the butt go down into more of a squat position and get lower center of gravity. And as he breaks the hip, as usual, his leg and force vector is going to be lined up with his front hip. It's not too bad. It's pretty good. He also keeps the front foot closed off. He keeps the front leg closed off long. That's all a good sign that he's not, turning and rotating hips too early. But what's good about him here is that at this point, as he begins his leg drive, this is really where his leg drive begins because this is where the knee back here will kick out. It'll straighten out and he'll explode here from the ankle, and then his hips will explode. But at his age, he doesn't have the functional strength yet, so he doesn't really get that triple extension of the ankle, the knee, and the hip. So when he lands his front foot, he's closed off. I mean, that hip's just closed off because he just doesn't have that kind of power yet. But even though his arm got up early, it's not really in a bad spot there because it's still behind his trunk, or at least in line with his trunk, which is good. So when he gets to more power out of that backside, we will see a significant size or at least significant change in the length of his stride, which is really what we want to see. Because the more we use those elastic properties of the lower body, and the lower we get and the longer we get, the more linear you get, then that really converts nicely into torque, and that does help hip and shoulder separation, which he doesn't have too much of yet because he's very young. But that is something that we can strive for as we get going. Now take a look at his front foot. You see where his front foot landed, way off the midline. Let's put the midline. He's a little bit off the midline, a little bit open. So I think what happens here is when you keep the foot closed off that long and you don't have either the flexibility or the leg drive in the back, that this hip here never really lifts up to open up the front leg and the front foot. Sometimes it's a strength issue from the backside because he really doesn't power out. If you watch the back knee, it doesn't really extend. Kind of extends right there, but just a little late because he's already landed the front foot. We want to see that extension before he lands the front foot, and that's going to lift the hip, and it's going to lift the leg out and drop the foot, and that will help open the foot a lot more. But what he needs to work on this week is trying to get that front foot to open. He can think about doing it because it could be a motor skill issue as well. It's usually a strength issue from the backside. But let's take a look at some of his angles too. So when you do power out correctly and the arm gets into full external rotation, which is when the arm lays back all the way. See how he doesn't really get that arm to lay back? Just not enough power from the back side to really lay that back. Sometimes it's a flexibility issue as well. I'll only know that over time. But if we take a look at the angle here, he's kind of vertical. Let's get him down there to his chin, about 71. Where is he at ball release? It's pretty good at ball release. That's actually really good. 52. It's not too bad. With more of that lower body power, we'll see that chest thrust out more at this point, and it'll be over his front knee. Okay, he does get good kickback in the front knee, though. It's really impressive. See his front knee kick back as he goes? Boom. So he's getting some more velocity there, too. And when he ball release, he gets pretty close to that line. His chest is pretty close to that line. It's not bad. What else can I check out here? So when he lands his front leg, it is flexed, which is good, and then it kicks back, which is good. Just can get some more length out of that stride with some more back leg power. I think I said this in an earlier video. If you watch the back heel lift, that's not the movement of a power pitcher. The back heel is going to turn because all the weight is going to be on the inside of the foot, and that back heel you'll see it peel off the rubber, but not pop off the rubber. Okay, and let's take a look at the glove side. How does he do with his glove hand? Glove hand is a little bit inactive. I mean, it's lifted up, and it just kind of drops to the side, a little low. You should probably pick that glove hand up a little bit and tuck it, or at least turn it towards his body up a little higher. But good job. I mean, I like how he keeps his, like I said earlier, he keeps his chin over his belt buckle pretty well. Doesn't lean forward. He's got decent trunk lean here. Not bad. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. We'll work on, a little bit back leg power. And maybe breaking those hands a little bit lower. We'll see how that helps him out to get that arm up a little bit later. And with a longer stride, a more powerful stride, you'll see some nice increase in velocity. Okay,